Hello and welcome to this short yoga practice. We're going to be practicing yoga in an office chair. So exploring some movements that you can do at work in your office. So I'm going to come to sit at the edge of the chair. And you might notice my chair has arms. Office chairs often have arms. If you have one without, that's even better. You can do so many more movements. Let's take a breath. Oftentimes we want to practice some movement during a break at work, but we don't want to be like super obvious what we're doing. So here's some examples of how you can do some movement that's just a little more subtle in the workplace. So maybe we want to start with some neck movements. We could bring our chin down towards our chest, maybe bringing it back up. Option to bring our head back very slowly, because you don't want to hurt your neck by flinging your head back. You turn your head one way and then the other way. Doing that again. You could do some hand movements, maybe doing some hand circles. You could also do some ankle circles. If you do them one way, make sure you also go the other way. Taking a second here. Maybe you want to do some stretches of your fingers, making fists, making them wide. You could also do these down. You don't have to have them up in the air. So if you have a desk, they could be lower than your desk. You could think about your thumbs from the inside going towards the outside, and then now think about your pinkies from the outside going towards the inside. So it sort of looks like this, but if you're at work, you can keep them lower. Take a breath. We can do a little stretch. You can lean to one side. So I'm bringing one hand to one leg or to the side of the belly. An option to bring this hand back behind you straight. Think about how that feels. So I'm still looking forward, but do you feel a stretch in the side of your back? If you're bold, you can also raise your hand up for a side stretch if you want. And then coming back. Do the same thing on the other side. So doing a little turn where we bring one hand over to that side, bringing that arm behind you, looking forward. And again, you can also do that side stretch if you want. And then coming back. We can do a twist, similar to what we just did, bringing one hand to one leg or to the belly, bringing the hand to the back of your chair or behind your butt. So this chair, it's really high, but if you have a lower chair, you can hold on to it and then look behind. Breathing. And then we'll come forward. We can do the same thing on the other side, coming back behind, looking back. Looking forward. Another thing we can do here is we can do some seated cat-cows, and we have the option of using bigger arms or not. So for our cow, we inhale. Think about sticking your butt out the back. I'm going to turn so you can see. Well, it's hard on my back, but my butt is sticking out, created like an arch in my spine. My chest is coming out. My shoulder blades are coming back. Maybe my chin's going up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, round your back, round your chin down towards your chest, letting all that air out, and you can alternate. So this is something I do often while I'm seated at a desk. Take a couple of seconds and do some seated cat-cows. Maybe you want to add some arm movements in here. You definitely don't have to, but you could. And then we can shake that out a little bit. Maybe you want to open up your hands into a cactus pose and then bring them together and round your back when they're together and arch your back when they're out in cactus. We can shake that out again. Let's take our legs nice and wide. If you can sit on the edge of your chair, take a second. Maybe you want to lean forward. Just be careful if your chair's sliding. You don't want to fall. If there's a way to lock your chair wheels, I would do that. Leaning forward and then up. If you have a desk in front of you, I'm going to pretend that this chair is a desk. If you have a desk, you could bring your legs nice and wide in your chair. You could have your desk out in front of you, and you could have your hands on the edge of your desk. And maybe bring your chair back if it's on wheels, rolling, stretching out that upper back. You could look through your arms down in front of where your desk is, maybe where your feet normally sit. Taking a breath. And then we can slowly come back. Maybe you want to do some cat-cows again. And then we can do that again. So lean forward. Bring our hands to our desk, looking through our arms. Breathing, and then coming to sit up. So I'm going to move this again. Another thing we could do is focus on sort of our lower body. So doing some knee raises. Tapping our heels out in front. And maybe even, depending on your chair arms, you could tap out to the side a little bit. You could even open up your hip to the side. I like to sit on the very edge of the chair, and it is hard to do this. Not as comfortable with armrests, but if you don't have them, it's definitely much easier to expand your legs open a lot further. And then coming back to center. Maybe you want to put both of our feet out. If you have armrests, now we can use them to our advantage. Bring our hands to them, bring your shoulder blades back together. Sitting up nice and tall, taking a breath. You can point your toes, flex them. Again, watch for rolling. I'm rolling around here. And then bring them back in. We can open up our knees nice and wide again. Maybe we want to push our belly to the inside, folding down, and we could bring our hands down towards our feet or towards the ground. We can also keep our hands on our knees or above our knees, looking down, and then slowly coming back up. Again, maybe we want to do a little twist. Maybe shrugging our shoulders. Maybe doing some shoulder rolls one way and then doing them the other way. Taking a breath here. We have the option to come in into an upward salute, but this is definitely something that people might see if you're in an open office space. We will lower our hands down. If you don't want to do that, instead you could bring them out in front of you and lower them, open them up to the sides. So taking any movement here that feels good. Maybe we want to stretch one arm out, bending the other arm back. Almost like a bow and arrow. That can be a good stretch. You could also, if you have your desk out in front, you could do the same thing. Sliding your hand out onto the desk, bringing this other arm back, and then alternating. Another way that you could do a back stretch or back bend is with your desk, pretending your hands are on your desk. You can lean into your hands, arching your back. Actually, I'm going to turn so you can see the side of this. So your hands are on your desk, you're arching your back, looking forward, and then you could round up. So this is almost like a cat-cow pose, but holding onto your desk. And you could if you come close to your desk, bring your hands and your elbows bent, looking up. Very similar to a cobra pose. Back bend, breathing, and then coming out of that. So there's lots of options where you can use your desk as a tool, and different ways that you can move your legs underneath your desk as well. So hope you enjoyed this. Maybe you want to try some of these things out at work and follow along for more plus size yoga videos.